Looking at another woman is not a sin. I know, some wives probably would think that I'm wrong for saying this, and this might rub some of you guys the wrong way, but the Bible did not say that if a man look at a woman, he is lusting or he is committing a sin. Let's find out what Jesus said in the Bible. Let's have this conversation. Hey guys, welcome back to our channel. I am Dorian and this is Not Easily Broken. The purpose of this channel is to transform your life, your marriage, and your relationship with the content that we share on this channel. Now, let's get right into it. Now look, let's look at what Jesus said about this. In Matthew chapter 5 and verse 28, Jesus said, "But I say unto you that whosoever looketh on a woman to lust after her has committed adultery with her already in his heart." The key word here is to look with lust. A man can look at a woman and he is not lusting after her. He is not looking with the intent to lust, to desire. Most women think that if a man look at a woman, he is lusting, and that is really not always the case. Now, I'm not talking about a man turning his head and looking at the woman's butt and drooling at the mouth. No, I'm not talking about that. And I am not talking about staring her down, disrespecting her, undressing her with his eyes. No, that's not what we're talking about here. That is disrespectful to the woman. It's disrespectful to your wife, especially if she is with you. If my wife and I are walking down the street and a beautiful woman is walking towards us, am I supposed to close my eyes? Now think about it, guys. Should I pull my wife and walk on the opposite side of the street? No, that is not what Jesus is talking about. Not every man is dealing with lust. Not every man is struggling in their flesh. Not every husband is walking around doing these kind of things. Matter of fact, let us look at Matthew chapter 5 and verse 27 to have a clearer understanding of what Jesus was talking about when he made this statement. Jesus said, "You have heard the commandment that says you must not commit adultery." Matthew chapter 5 and verse 27. The Old Testament law said it is wrong for a person to have sex with someone other than his or her spouse. Exodus chapter 20 and verse 14. But Jesus said that the desire to have sex with someone other than your spouse is mental adultery. Jesus emphasized that if the act is wrong, then so is the intention. To be faithful with your spouse, with your body, but not with your mind, is to break the trust so vital to a strong marriage. Jesus is not condemning natural interest in the opposite sex or even healthy sexual desire, but the deliberate and repeated filling one's mind with fantasy and lustful desire that would lead to evil act. That's what he's concerned about. Everything that we do start with a thought. This is what Jesus was teaching. Adultery happens in the mind of a person before the act is committed. The problem is not looking, guys, but looking with the lustful intent to desire someone or something that is not yours. The word lust in the Greek is epithumio, which means to have a desire for, a longing for, to lust after, to covet those things that is not yours, to covet forbidden things. It may be helpful to realize that this word often has a connotation to ownership. In other words, if you covet something that belongs to someone else, if you want something that is not yours, if you want somebody to lose something that you can gain or acquire it for yourself, is wrong. That's lust. That is a sin. Sinful lust is a desire for something that God has forbidden. Looking lustfully at a woman produces lustful action when act upon always lead to devastation. Eve lust for the delicious fruit from one of the tree in the Garden of Eden. God had said, you must not eat from this tree. Genesis chapter 2, verse 16 and 17. Her act of eating and giving some to her husband opened the door for sin to enter into God's perfect world. David lusted for Bathsheba, another man's wife. And when he acted upon that lust, it led to the murder and the death of the infant son as part of God's judgment, part of God's punishment. 2 Samuel chapter 11. The wicked action can begins with lusting after another woman, lusting after another man. It's so important that we get rid of all of those thoughts and those ideas as soon as they arrived in our mind. In 2 Corinthians chapter 10, verse 4 and 5, it tells us that for the weapon of our warfare are not carnal, but mighty through God in the pulling down of strongholds, casting down imagination and everything that exalted itself against the knowledge of God, bringing into captivity every thought to the obedience of Christ. So we have to bring every thought, every idea under subjection to the Spirit of God. We cannot always control what our eyes see, what our noses smell, what our ears hear. Guys, it is the heart that determines whether that which the senses perceive becomes a sin. Now, medical professionals can look at women's bodies all day long and not sin. They are observing, evaluating, and working to keep women healthy. So the act of looking at a woman's body is not sin per se. It is what the mind does with the sensory input that determines whether or not it is a sin or not. The Bible said, "Blessed is the man that endureth temptation, for when he is tried, he shall receive a crown of life, which the Lord has promised to them that loved him. Let no man say that when I am tempted of God, for God cannot be tempted with evil, neither tempteth he any man. But every man is tempted when he is drawn away of his own lust and enticed. Then when lust has conceived, it bring forth sin, and sin, when it is finished, bring forth death." James chapter 1, verse 14 and 15. See, it's not the temptation. It is the yielding to the temptation. It is not the look, but is looking with the intent to have, to hold, to desire in your heart, in your mind, something that doesn't belong to you. See, you have your feelings doesn't have you. See, looking at a woman is not the problem, is lusting after her. The danger is lusting, not looking. I believe that husbands should create a safe place and a safe space for their spouse. Ladies, if you and your husband are at a restaurant and a beautiful woman walked in and he looked at her, that is not lust. The first thing that most wives would do is to look at their husband to see if he is looking at her. Let's be honest, you're not the only beautiful woman out there. And if he tells you that you are the only beautiful woman, I promise you that he's lying to you. He doesn't want to hurt your feelings, so he lie. But that's not how he protect your feelings, by lying. That's not how he protect your vulnerability, by lying. I hope that you are the most beautiful woman to him, but you're not the most beautiful woman in the world. You're not the most attractive woman out there. Let's be real. There are other people that are beautiful too. My wife is an amazing, beautiful, attractive woman. I love my wife, and I savor her emotions. I savor her attitude, her personality. But she is not the only attractive woman I know. But she is the most attractive woman to me because we share over 45 years of friendship and marriage combined together. Yes, we have been friends since kindergarten, fell in love at 17, 18, dated for over close to 5 years, 4.5 years of dating, married for 27 years. Yes, she is the finest woman in my life. But I would be ignorant to think that she is the only beautiful woman out there. That is the lie that the devil tells men. That is the lie that the devil wants you to believe, that she's the only beautiful woman out there. And so when you see other women that are beautiful, and then your mind starts to gravitate, your mind starts to grab a hold of that, you automatically think it's love. You start to pursue that which is not even yours, when your focus supposed to be on your wife, be on the one that God have blessed you with. Let's be real. Some men cheat with women that are less attractive than their wife. It's not about the looks. It's about the sin. It's about the desire of the heart. It is what in the heart of the man. As a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. So please, let us not be ignorant here. If a man is looking over at a woman and constantly following her around the room with his eyes, then he definitely has a high problem. He has a lust issue. It's easy to tell if a man is really lusting after a woman. But glancing and just looking at a woman as she walked into the space, it's not lust. Only God and him can determine what is in his mind. I believe that it's also the husband's responsibility to protect his wife's security and vulnerability by how he treats her. See, when a man has wandering eyes and look at another woman in a very sexual way, it can bring insecurity to the wife. And I blame the husband for that. He's not responsible for all insecurity, but he's responsible for insecurity in this area. And here's why. Some husbands don't speak into their wife's life. You don't have meaningful conversation with her. You don't edify her. You don't compliment her. You don't show interest in her. You don't take time to tell her how beautiful, gorgeous, attractive she is. She goes to the hair salon and she get her hair done, and you don't take the time to see what she did with her hair. You don't compliment her about her hair. She go and get her nails done and you don't even take the time to look at her fingers. She dress up and she's leaving the house to go out. She looks good, she smell good, and you don't even look up from your computer. You don't look away from the television. You're playing your video games. You're on your phone. You're watching sports and you telling the coach who to put into the game, and you get so caught up into all of that hype that you don't even realize that she leave the house looking all nice. And then she walk out there and she get all these compliments from all these different men, telling her how good she looks, how beautiful she looks. She walk out of your presence and she's in the presence of other men that is telling her how attractive and beautiful she is. That is a problem. And then the next time that she's out with you, your head is all over the place. You constantly glancing at another woman. You're sitting in church, but you're looking at another sister. See, what you have done is create insecurity for that woman that you profess to love and to cherish. You must treat her like a queen and she will become one. When a man is doing that regularly to his wife, when the two of you are out and about, another woman pass by and you probably just look at her. And again, I'm not talking about looking at the body and all of that stuff. No, we're not talking about that. But you just look. A woman will walk into your space where you are, where both of you are, and you glance at her. See, the fact that you have always add value to her life and make her feel safe and secure in the relationship, most women won't have a problem with that. Most women know when a man is really looking at another woman. Women are not ignorant because men do it to them all the time. Of course, I've seen men looking at my wife a certain way. I've seen it. Hey, that's them. I'm going to protect my eyes. I'm going to make sure that I do the right thing. But she's going to have a problem if you are never edifying her, you're never pouring into her, you don't make her feel good about herself, you make her feel like the other woman that you're looking at is a competition, look better than her, then that's a problem. But you must create a space and a place where she feels safe and she feels vulnerable. And you have got to train your eyes that you don't look and lurk and carry on like you're looking for another prey. That's disrespectful. It's dishonorable. And wives, let me just say this to you. You must know the kind of man that you marry. If he's a faithful man, then there should be no insecurity in that part. Then there should be no big problem if he just look at another person. I mean, I'm talking about some of y'all ladies just put these men under a microscope. If he sneeze, you're thinking that he's cheating on you. I mean, a godly man must do everything in his power to do the right thing so that his wife can feel safe and secure in the relationship. That is why we walk in the Spirit. We live by the Spirit. And we will not fulfill the lust of our flesh. And wives, some of y'all know you just exaggerate. You just go in for no apparent reason. But then again, it has to do with the kind of man that you marry. Is he faithful? Is he trustworthy? Is he honorable? If he's cheating on you, if he have ever cheated on you, guess what? It's always going to be in your mind. And that's why he has to be a man of honor and a man of integrity. because his responsibility is to make sure that you are safe and you are protected in the relationship. And so guys, that's what I want to share with you in this video. If this video adds some value to you, then please smash that like button. Leave a comment in the comment section. I would like to hear from you. Do you think that every time that a man look at a woman, he is lusting, he's committing a sin? Let's continue the conversation in the comment section. Guys, thank you again for watching. If you have not subscribed to this YouTube channel, please hit that subscribe button. May God bless you. Thank you again for watching, and I cannot wait to see you again very soon.